Like this video, please subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss out on any future videos.
1 second, we're going to get to the greatest of all cosplaying revolutionaries. The inimitable, irreverent, irreplaceable, so fresh, so face, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. So much freshness, so much faceness. The fresh face, brilliant, unbelievable, revolutionary, stunning, iconic. We're going to get to this in just 1 second because I have some thoughts. First, let us talk about a simple fact, which is you'd like to keep your home safe. I'd like to keep my home safe. It matters a lot to me. This is why I rely on Ring Alarm, particularly when I am out of town.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Come on. Oh, wow. He fucking talked about this for 23
Revolutionary cosplayers. So fresh. So unbelievably face.
Dude, he is so horny. He is like... Dude, someone needs to stop Ben. I mean, he is too horny. He is uncontrollably horny. He fucking fit 2 ads in there, dude.
Some freshness and the fresh of faceness. AOC showed up to the Met Gala. Now, nothing says woman of the people like showing up to a gala where the average ticket costs $30,000. Now, I assume she didn't pay for that. I assume that she was gifted the ticket by somebody in the management at the Met Gala. She wore a white dress from I actually was wondering who the maker of the dress was. Apparently, the maker of the dress is some famous shoe designer. I guess they don't even sell dresses normally. So they made it special for her. And she was wearing a special white dress with a slogan on the back of it reading, "Tax the Rich." Tax the rich. At the Met Gala, surrounded by all of the rich people, including AOC, who makes $174,000 a year, not being a barmaid, but being a person who is in Congress mouthing off on Instagram.
I mean, I'm in favor of fucking lowering how much congresspersons get paid, to be perfectly clear. Like, but you know, $174,000 a year that you're getting paid, especially when you're fucking AOC and you don't have like, you know, when you don't have assets like Joe Manchin or every other fucking politician. I don't know. Probably, you know, a lot of your money is going directly to rent in DC and also in New York. And also, the hilarious part about this is like, well, she was just a barmaid. Like, you're already admitting it, dude. You're literally admitting. You are literally fucking admitting that, like, this is a person who went from, like, working at a fucking bar to being a prominent congressperson who got invited to the fucking Met Gala in 3 years. Okay? Like, there is no, like, glow-up story harder than that. The only reason why Ben hates it is because she did it while also representing leftist values. If there was a bartender, a self-made bartender that became like a capitalist voice, like a young capitalist voice, Ben would love this. He would fucking love it, dude. He would be like, oh my God. He would never shut the fuck up about it. Schrodinger's AOC. She's working class barmaid, but also she's a filthy rich elitist. Yeah, exactly.
She is not a member of the lower classes in the United States, gang. Neither is Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is a millionaire who owns 3 homes. AOC is not a member of the blue-collar working class any longer. Okay, so AOC shows up to the Met Gala to hobnob with the rich and famous. Now notice, again, this is cosplaying the revolution. She isn't outside yelling at the people going into...
Rags the riches by becoming a politician? Bro, rich is not true here, okay? Like, I don't think AOC's caked up. I'm going to be honest with you. You get mad at me, say I'm out of touch, be like, oh, yo, look at this guy, Twitch streamer, thinks like $174,000 is not a lot of money. Like, oh my God. Like, if you think that this person is like fucking super caked up now, you're a psycho. Okay? Like, she went from, yeah, rags to financially stable in comparison to where she was before. She gets paid to private speak. Show me. Show me. She gets more than 170K through benefits law. Show me. Chatters whose fucking parents make more than that, okay, are literally like living in their little McMansions in fucking Idaho, being like, oh my God, AOC is so fucking caked up. She's so rich. Most of her fucking wealth, her unearned wealth, is going directly to fucking rent. Okay? And also, she didn't set the salary. So why are we having this fucking conversation? It's so wild to be like, I can't believe AOC is not, well, what's your counter? That she should, AOC needs to fucking give her money, all of her money away now. Like, fact check, Representative AOC's net worth is not close to $1 million. When she took office in 2019, AOC reported in her first financial disclosure that she had a checking account, a brokerage account, and a 401k plan through the National Hispanic Institute that were worth between $3,000 and $45,000. Her student loan debt through the U.S. Department of Education at the time was listed between $15,000 to $50,000. During the September 2019 hearing on student loan debt, Ocasio-Cortez says she made a payment that reduced her student loan debt to $19,000. Income from the taco restaurants where she tended bar and from her 2018 congressional campaign totaled $25,000. Members of Congress are paid $174,000 a year. We rate that AOC has racked up more than $1 million in net worth as a member of Congress is false based on our research. Going to an event for the rich elites while simultaneously claiming to be against those people is hypocritical? I don't think so. I don't. The only part of that that is like fucking not hypocritical, but just a bad look for PR is wearing a dress that says tax the rich and making it seem as though you went to a fucking Met Gala event as an act of political activism, as an act of selfless political activism. I don't think that hanging out with actors and recording artists aren't the rich she's talking about. How is AOC as a leftist socialist not a hypocrite for going to the Met before you say, I'm not a McMansion Andy? I think the only hypocritical side of things is making it seem as though you're doing it as a act of activism. That's it. That's it. Because it plays to the fucking hogs and even normies. It plays right into their fucking desires. It plays right into their fucking false understanding of what like leftism is supposed to represent.
The Met Gala that they need to be taxed more. She's not outside telling them that they should be giving all of the money not to the Metropolitan Museum of Fashion, but to actual poor people. Because let me tell you something. If you donate to the Metropolitan Museum of Art, that money ain't going to the poor. Okay? Instead, the idea here is that she is...
See, this is what fucking frustrates me. This is the secondary part of this that frustrates me. Art is oftentimes used as a vehicle for tax evasion. This is certainly true. But I fucking hate that Republicans use it as an opportunity to shit on like funding cultural programs. I fucking despise that, dude. It makes me so mad. It's just like, dude, that's not a bad thing, okay? Funding museums and cultural programs is not a bad thing. Shut the fuck up, you piece of shit. Fuck you, okay? Seriously, fuck you.
She's a heroine. It's iconic, according to reporters for Rolling Stone. Iconic. Oh, incredible. She is, here she is wearing this dress that says tax the rich. And we're all supposed to swoon because, again, she's not actually doing anything revolutionary. She's going to a bunch of people who agree with her about taxing the rich, at least when they're at events like this. And then they go home and they say to their accountant, So where do I stash my cash so I don't get taxed? That's how
You're making this up. This is projection. And this is the exact same kind of projection that I get too. It's like, it's just, you're literally, you're doing a self-report on how you operate. So you assume that every single person has to be doing the same exact thing. That's it. It's deep suspicion that stems from where you come from. Like where you're at, how your attitudes are.
how it actually works in Hollywood. You have a bunch of Hollywood higher-ups. I'm happy to pay the highest taxes in all the land. And then they call up Berman the accountant. They're like, okay, figure out where to stash. Cayman Islands? Would that work for you? How do I avoid?
You're projecting too? Hypocrite? Self-report? Wait, what? How am I projecting? This is something that people say about me all the fucking time too. It's like, oh, dude, you're like, you're utilizing loopholes. You must be like avoiding fucking taxes as best as you can. Motherfucker, I live in California, okay? The fuck do you mean, dude? Of course, many people advocated for me to move to a different place where, property values were obviously a little bit more reasonable. And of course, if I had done that, those are oftentimes states that have no income tax. And that would mean that I was doing tax avoidance. So it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. You never win in that circumstance. You know what I mean? Like if I moved to fucking Texas or Nevada where property values are significantly lower, so I could have like a fucking nice house for way, way cheaper. And of course I would be doing it for tax avoidance. So, there's that too. Why do you care if you're a hypocrite if you're not doing the Puritan ideologue, but two, what?
What's the minimum I can pay? I noticed a lot of these people are not big on actually the giving of the charity or...
Hassan, your bias for AOC is showing? Why? Because I'm not blindly fucking making an assertion that AOC is like trying to fucking hide her, $174,000 salary that gets divvied up between her fucking apartment in New York and DC? Really? That's why? Because I'm not like making shit up about AOC? Like, is that what we're doing? What a fucking psychotic take from you, chatter. Like, Hassan, you're so biased towards AOC because you're not biased against AOC in the way that I am. She's worth $7 million? No, she's not. You're fucking 14 years old and you have no comprehension of money or anything. Like, how is she evading taxes with a $174,000 salary? Explain that to me. $7 million, this guy said. Does she not have appearance fees and speaking fees? Go ahead, find it. Show me. Show me how much money she's making off of her appearance fees and speaking fees. Go ahead.
The signing of a larger checks to the federal government, I've noticed. But AOC decides to show up and she's going to shame them. And they all look...
Motherfuckers are like, yeah, just source, trust me, bro. Bro, just trust me, bro. Okay, that's my source.
Deeply ashamed, right? They all look as though they have been just slapped in the face with a wet fish. Or, alternatively, they know that she's just part of the game. Because, again, Robespierre didn't show up at Versailles wearing culottes that said, kill the monarchs. He just killed the monarchs.
So what's up? Is AOC now supposed to kill the fucking capitalist class? Is that what she's advocating for? Why is Ben Shapiro falsely taking the fucking stance that a social democratic or democratic socialist, but like definitely, her fucking political desires in the short term certainly are just, basic social democracy. Why is that supposed to be like murdering the fucking wealthy? Like, I don't understand. Would you appreciate it more if she was murdering the wealthy? I am confused by this. I work for the IRS. Looking at her data, she recently made $3 million by selling a property in California. Wow, that's interesting. Was it in West Hollywood?
If you're going to be a revolutionary, you got to be a revolutionary. You don't get to hobnob with the let them eat cake crowd, which is...
But she's not. And that's what I'm always looking at, where it's like, she's not a fucking revolutionary. She's not. She's literally a politician. Why the fuck would a politician be a revolutionary? If she wanted to be a revolutionary, or if others that claim to be revolutionaries, they would be doing revolutionary organizing, okay? Which, by the way, being a social democratic politician in the United States of America will most likely contribute more to revolutionary organizing by, at the very least, normalizing these sorts of positions for a broader audience that would have never even fucking heard about this shit, so they can be radicalized on their own beyond that. Okay?
Which is what she is doing. And there's still a lot of people in this country who are suffering, who can't go back to work. In New York City, you can't go back to work in a lot of places because of all the vaccine requirements.
Why are internet leftists using the same arguments that conservatives do? Because I think a lot of people have false expectations that they placed upon AOC. I think that, like, it's the same concept as, like, Hassan bought a fucking house. It's like, no, you decided that I believed in the same fucking style of politics that you have, that you yourself never actually abide by. If given the chance, you would probably also not abide by those personal brand of ideological leftism. Okay? And they do the same shit for AOC, where they're like, you know, she's supposed to be this, like, revolutionary vanguard. It's like, she's not. Is she doing performative activism in that situation? Abso-fucking-lutely. Absolutely. Without a doubt. That is performative activism. But the reason why I don't shit on AOC for doing performative activism as much, beyond, like, it's fucking PR blunder and it's going to make her look worse, ultimately, to, like, the Normans. The reason why I don't give a shit about that is because she does good work. She does good work in Congress. Okay? That's just the reality. She does significantly better work than the overwhelming majority of congresspersons, alongside the rest of the Progressive Caucus. The Franco Games, thank you for the 10 tier 1 gift subs. Oh shit, dude. Is that Phil? Is that Sexy Phil's very own account? No, I'm not gonna watch the entire 45 minutes. We're done after this. We're done after Ben Shapiro stops sucking AOC's toes on the timeline. What exactly has she led or passed in Congress, though, that doesn't just make her sound like a grifter? We talked about this earlier. She literally repealed a fucking amendment that is that put a fucking cap on public funding, or publicly funded housing in states, that was passed in, like, 1998. This is one of the many different things that she's done. She does a lot of fucking fundraising for mutual aid. She takes care of her own district like a motherfucker, okay? And people from her district will admit this. She, on top of that, absolutely fundraises like crazy for mutual aid. And then on the legislative side, her and the rest of the Progressive Caucus are actually putting up a really strong front against the moderate Democrats, okay? Against the moderate Democrats that are trying to yeet the $3.5 trillion budget reconciliation package. She doesn't get fucking funded by big business. She advocates for social democratic principles and values. I don't have a problem with that. I think that's significantly better than, like, 98% of Congress, dude. You're crazy. Now, do I fear that all the glitz and glamour will inadvertently co-opt her and what she believes in, and move her slowly but surely away from like actually organizing for the values that we all believe in, that genuinely provide better material conditions for the working class? I do. I actually do worry about that. Her fucking, for the record, her foreign policy is terrible. Her foreign policy is not good. Not good at all. Her takes on Cuba were bad. Her takes on Bolivia was bad. Her takes on Venezuela were bad. She is consistently almost militant when it comes to American foreign policy. It's not good. I criticize that regularly. Her takes on Israel has only recently changed. And that means that, she's, what do you call it? That means that she's, like, at least susceptible to change. Maybe she's right. No, what the fuck? No. AOC's infinite salary. Thank you for the 5 gifted tier 1 subs. Why do you think that is? Because most people don't give a fuck about American foreign policy. Her takes on Bolivia in the immediate were not good. She changed her stance on Bolivia afterwards. But, like, she did meet with some of her constituents that were literally fucking advocating for the Bolivian Christian fascists. So, it's not great. For most of you, that is the only thing that matters. You cannot be a leftist and not recognize international struggle. It's a litmus test. I mean, dude, you're talking to me. We're going to watch the Philip DeFranco video in a second. This was literally the day after the coup. What's happening in Bolivia isn't a democracy, it's a coup. The people of Bolivia deserve a free, fair, and peaceful election, not violence, seizures of power. Yeah, but she also literally met with people that were advocates for the Christian fascists. She gets duped with foreign policy stuff. She gets duped by like random people. Do you guys remember when she was talking about Israel and Palestine and literally had like some random fucking person tweeted him, some random Zionist tweeted him, and she was like, okay, you know, I'm gonna fucking coalesce. I'm gonna talk to you. Meeting with people doesn't mean she doesn't agree with them. No, she gets, I think, she is American, okay? And Americans regularly fucking are not knowledgeable. What is this? AOC speaking fees? One is a world-class fighter, the 5th most athlete in the world. The other is a freshman public servant who pretends to be poor yet to charge the exact same speaking fee. Where is this from? CelebrityTalent.net? That's your fucking... That's your proof? CelebrityTalent.net, dude? Hey, fuck it, dude. Yo, fuck it. Let's just watch some porn. Actually, you know what? I just want to be banned at this point. Fuck it. This is the processing power of my fucking community is AOC speaking fees from CelebrityTalent.net. Yet another one of those like AI organized websites that say I'm already married with children and have like a vast net worth of $17 million. Come on, bro. Anyway. Porn react stream would be cool, actually. What is this? Oh, dude, Keemstar. Oh, my fucking God. Yeah, well, yeah, I know. Okay, where the fuck were we? Let's finish this Ben Shabiro video, please. Oh my God, for the love of Christ.
AOC's district is one of the less wealthy districts in New York. And here she is.
Yeah, he should have. Yeah, and she's insanely popular. So what does that tell you, dumbass? As we honor the coup victims in Bolivia, I want to thank AOC for her leadership. She was one of the few in the U.S. Congress that denounced the coup, and she passed legislation that banned the U.S. from sending weapons from crowd control equipment to Anya's regime. Okay, yeah, okay, not Bolivia. I take back what I said about Bolivia. The Times, my workday, 4-weeking, what? here's Representative AOC. She has a, what is this? This shows her congressional committees that she's a part of: financial services, oversight and government reform. Her disclosure, full disclosure, $565,000. These are the funds that she got, right? Isn't that like her net worth? According to her net worth is minus $46,000, dude. She has a negative net worth back from 2018, of course. I was like fucking broken here, dude.
Is taking that out. You know, Joe Manchin, who's really bad. Joe Manchin, the plutocrat. Joe Manchin. I didn't see him at the Met Gala. I didn't see this piece of work.
Yeah, dude. Joe Manchin is actually, dude. Okay, this is the great. Okay, there you go. That's the argument, dude. Socialism is when no Met Gala. Joe Manchin is now a socialist. Okay, Joe Manchin is now a better fucking friend to the working class, despite the fact that, you know, he routinely fucks over the working class directly to fucking line his pockets.
In the Met Gala. There she was, the Met Gala, hobnobbing with all of her fashionable friends, standing up to the patriarchy, standing up to capitalism with all of these beneficiaries of capitalism who are dancing with the mask of the Red Death at the ball that protects them from being part of the rest of the pandemic. It is galling to say the least. For sure. Now, I guess the dress's designer was Aurora James, and she went with her dress designer. And she discussed what it means to be working class women of color at the Met. Yes, wow, it's like Cinderella going to the ball.
I mean, it literally is in many ways, though. Like, you already fucking made fun of her for being a barmaid. Like, you literally are talking about someone who worked at a fucking bar and had a negative net worth until like 2 years ago, who's now like a prominent figure in leftist fucking spaces, who was invited to the fucking Met Gala. Like, yeah. Why are you so fucking triggered by this, dude? I don't understand. I mean, I know why he's triggered by this. Like I said, if it was a fucking Republican in a similar position, Republicans would love fucking talking about how great this guy is, okay?
Yeah, wow. There was AOC. She was sitting in her kitchen doing an Instagram post about how to make a smoothie, and she looked over into the fire and she just began sifting through the ashes for a potato, a crumb to eat. And that's when they began calling her AO Cinderella.
Dude, I hate this. Like, I hate this so much. Like, you have to literally be in a destitute position to advocate for fucking progressive change, dude.
And AO Cinderella then had Billy Porter arrive as the fairy godmother and grant her wish, which was to go to the ball with all of the special people, wearing a dress that said on the back, tax the rich.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about the fucking, her meeting with constituents that, like, were the coup organizers. You know why? Because ultimately she called it a fucking coup d'etat, and then she continued to stop the coup from, like, she continued to stop support to the coup government. So it doesn't matter. If you're still posting this after we already mentioned this, then you're fucking delusional. You just hate AOC and want to fucking shit on her. I'm even saying that I was wrong. Her takes on fucking Venezuela were bad, though. And her take on Cuba was like both siding it and talking about how, like, fucking, you know, Cuban people deserve freedom from the oppressive government or whatever the fuck. Same shit that Bernie Sanders does from time to time, too. Don't get me wrong. Okay. So, isn't Cuba a dictatorship? Yeah, of the proletariat. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's fucking, it is definitely an oppressive structure. They have an interesting democratic organization when it comes to local elections. Ultimately, though, there are reasons as to why that governance is more authoritarian than I would like it to be, personally. And that is, of course, that they're constantly waging war with the most powerful imperialist force on the fucking planet that they happen to literally, like, you know, be in the backyard of. It's like a stone toss away. And they've very successfully been able to put up a fight against that imperialist force. More authoritarian than I would like them to be? No, they have a lot of authoritarian shit that they do in fucking Cuba. 1000%. It's not good. But this notion, but remember, a lot of that is agitated and totally fucking exaggerated within American media. What happened to those fucking Cuban protests, bro? Like, what happened? Remember how everyone was rising up against the fucking Cuban government, right? Fuck, dude, that was so... People were so fucking mad. And then as soon as that conversation shifted over to the genuine concern that hurts Cuban people, both even Cuban Americans that are not complete psychopaths, and also Cubans living in Cuba, which is the fucking insane sanctions and the embargo, and America controlling all manner of fucking goods going in and out of Cuba, all of a sudden, we stopped talking about Cuba Libre immediately. Okay? Why'd that happen? How'd that happen? What's happening? Are they still dying out there? Yeah, everybody fucking forgot about Cuba. Yeah, the authoritarian Cuban regime, for some weird reason, you know, is fucking less brutal with its fucking police force than the American one, so... Come the fuck on, dude. Half the fucking protest footage that Fox News and American media showed were literally pro-government protesters. Yeah, and the biggest like counter protest to Cuba was trying to make, or at least on this platform, was claiming that saying gusano is a fucking slur. And it got people to like unironically call it the G word for like a week. Now everybody forgot about it. Do you want to know why? Because it's all fucking bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Wow. And then she turned back into a pumpkin. She had to go back to Washington, D.C. and hang out with all the other pumpkins. So here she was, blue-collar AOC, explaining her own heroism. Not all heroes wear capes. Some wear $2,000 dresses designed by Aurora James. Here she is.
When Aurora and I were first kind of partnered, we really started having a conversation about what it means to be working class women of color at the Met. And
oh my God.
Why do you get to decide if it's a slur or not? I mean, I don't. I just think it's fucking ridiculous. Like, you know, crying about fucking cracker being a slur or Karen being a slur. You don't have that same moral consistency that you uphold, that you value so much. If you're literally fucking running around saying cracker or Karen or any number of different things. So shut the fuck up, bitch. Also a slur. Triggered little bitch. Anyway.
That, you know, we can't just play along, but we need to break the fourth wall and challenge some of the institutions. And you know, while the Met is known for its spectacle, we should have a conversation about it.
Well, they don't know about the spectacle. We should have a conversation about it. You know what the conversation is? That you're a hypocrite. That's the conversation. We're standing outside with the signs.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. That is what the conversation turned into, which is why I'm saying that, like, it didn't yield a productive conversation about, like, you know, taxing the wealthy or, you know, having Gilded Age level wealth inequality. Okay, it was just not good. It was just like fucking bad. It was a flop, straight up. Okay, like people keep saying, but it trended on Twitter. But it trended. Like, yeah, it trended for the wrong reasons. Okay. Liberals might have liked it. The View talked about it. Oh, I can't wait to see this. But I think for the most average person, Hassan is jealous, lol. Yeah, dude. I'm so jealous. Yeah. Like this video, please subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss out on any future videos.